afternoon and welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. Today we're going to, well first I'd just like to thank Questioning Sense have a sponsor and I'd like to thank them. Ta-da! Of course we don't have a sponsor. Basically what I'm trying to say is I've borrowed one of my wife's bottles of perfume for today's review. Now I'm really quite excited to review this because this is a fragrance I've had for a while, and when I say it's my wife, I actually bought it for me. My wife loved it and she's now got it, so I occasionally get to steal it back and wear it because it's gorgeous. So today we're going to be looking at one of my favourite recent acquisitions. Sorry, I'm looking away from the camera at the moment because I've got two and they look very similar. So today we're looking at St. Dupont's Royal Amber, and I have, you'll remember, previously reviewed St. Dupont's Oud Rose or Rose Oud. And when they're together side by side, they're quite difficult to tell apart unless you're looking right at it. And as I haven't got my glasses on, I'm as blind as a bat. So, Royal Amber, look at that. Beautiful. Now, Royal Amber came out, I think, in 2017, so it's a fairly recent, it's a couple of years old, so not that old. And it's an interesting one. St. Dupont have so they've had some fun with it. So they've said it's an olfactory journey to the Palace of 1001 Nights. And by Jove, they've done it. This is truly, truly divine. Glorious, glorious scent. And I honestly, I don't see it talked about much or read much about it. And I don't know how St. Dupont are flying so low under the radar at the moment. These are really cheap. For the quality, I mean, the presentation is absolutely stunning, but the two, I've only got two, I've only tried two, and both of them are absolutely brilliant. And considering they're both under the £40 mark, I cannot, and they're 100ml bottles as well, I cannot believe that they've not sort of generated the vibe or the hype that something, like Bentley Intense has done. And, you've got these other really good, inexpensive, niche smelling fragrances that are out there that just, they're like wildfire. People go mad for them. And for some reason, these haven't. And I think these are absolutely brilliant. There is, as I say, a review of the Rose Oud, or the Oud Rose, I always get it the wrong way around. But I haven't seen much in terms of reviews on the Royal Amber. And I cannot for the life of me work out why, because it's an absolute stunner. So let's have a look at the notes. And they're quite, there's quite a lot in it. Basically, all the notes are red berries, saffron, geranium, oud, patchouli, leather, amber, cedarwood, and sandalwood. So there's quite a lot in there. And what you get from this, let's have another. I'm wearing it at the moment, but I could spray this all day. So we'll have another little go now. When I first smelt this, I blind bought it, so it was a bit of a risk. And I actually, the Royal Amber was the first one I got. I bought the Oud and Rose more or less straight after because I was so impressed with it. But when I first smelt it, I thought, hang on a minute, this is familiar. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of Amouage's Beloved Man. They're not alike, actually. When I wore the Amouage one and I wore this side by side for a while, and I did think, yeah, they're kind of similar, but they're not very much alike. This, they kind of open in a very similar way, and then the Amouage Beloved Man goes one way and this kind of goes the other. But this is divine. You've got, in the opening, there's a sweetness. First and foremost, it's Royal Amber, so amber, woods, and the leather are very prominent in this. There is oud in there, but it's not in any way, shape, an oudy frag. Like how sort of Amarth or Al Haramain, what they tend to do is put oud in the title of quite a lot of their fragrances that are not really oudy. And I think that's what's happened here. You may get a tiny touch of it, but and the thing is, Dupont know what they're doing with oud as well. The Oud Rose, the oud in that is very, very prevalent. It's very medicinal. It's a very strong oudy fragrance. This isn't at all. This is delightful. It's not light. It's not shouty. It's. I'll tell you what this is. This is a fragrance that's very, very comfortable with its own beauty. It doesn't need to scream. It doesn't shout. It's not like, an Interlude Man, or it's not like, some of the Montal or Manceras that are screamy. This isn't. This does project quite well for the first sort of half an hour maybe, and then it kind of withdraws quite in. It's not a skin scent, it's a little louder than that, but it's not far off. But it's perfect at that level. It's just such a warm, spicy, sweet, woody fragrance that just draws people in. If you're, this is a fragrance for a confident man or a confident woman to wear, because it is a stunner. And once people get a whiff of it, they'll want to come in for more of a smell, because it's quite intoxicating. It's a beautiful, beautiful smell. And what I like, everything, is quite harmonious. I tried a couple of the Penhaligon's fragrances recently and done reviews of that. And I think I was looking for, something from Penhaligon's to kind of blow me away. Well, I've had this under my nose all the time. And this is kind of, I've just gone back to it basically. I've forgotten how good it is, I think. And I think sometimes we're all capable, we'll do a bit of that. You forget what you've got, and then you're kind of looking for something new, you're looking for something new. And then you go back to what you've actually got and you think, well, hang on a minute. What I'm looking for is right under my nose. It's there. I'll just wear that. So I've worn this today, and what I like about it is it's got really, really good longevity. You'll get good 8-9 hours performance out of this, and then it'll become very, very soft. But it never really goes away until you kind of wash it off. It does last very well. And as I say, it doesn't, it's not a screaming loud fragrance at all. It does sit back. So let's go through the notes again. With the red berries, the saffron, and the geranium, and the amber, that gives it a sweetness. But it's not one of those fragrances where every note is very defined. It's not sharp. You can't sort of say, oh yeah, I'm getting the saffron coming in, I'm getting this coming in. It doesn't work like that. What happens is they all blend together quite well and just give a sweetness. The leather, when it comes in the beginning, you're getting a very sweet, sort of woodsy, dusty, rich, luxurious smell. And it does smell of luxury, there's no doubt about it. If this was in an Amouage bottle and you were paying 200 quid for it, you would be thinking, yeah, Amouage have knocked it out of the park with this one. It's really, really good. And it has got that kind of Amouage feel to it, that sort of spicy, rich, sweet Middle Eastern vibe, which is really, really prevalent in this, and it's a really, really good smell. But as I say, what happens is you get the sweet sort of ambery and fruity opening, although, as I say, the fruit is there, I think, purely for sweetness and not for fruit definition. It's not by any means a fruity fragrance whatsoever. That flourishes for the first hour. That's the kind of real thing that you get in there. And then the woods come in and the leather comes in, but it's a very soft, almost suede-y, powdery leather. Beautiful. Like, I don't know, like a luxurious jacket, but on the inside of the jacket, where the lining covers it, you just get that warm, wonderful sort of leathery smell that comes out. It's not animalic, it's not sharp, it's not, it's not off-putting at all. It's not like Tuscan leather where it's very powerful or anything like that. It's just the soft, sweet notes that compressed to make this wonderful vibe. And I can't say enough good things about it. I'm quite conscious of the fact that everything I review quite, a lot lately, I've been kind of really pro. But I have to be, because this is lovely. And I'm not going to, sort of slag it off just for the sake of a review when this is awesome stuff. The only problem you're going to get with it is it's pretty much going to be impossible to sample, because I've only ever seen it for sale online. I think Amazon carry it, Notino carry it. I don't know if All Beauty do, but I think it's in that kind of world. You're going to need to look for it online to find it, so it's going to be quite difficult to sample. So I'm afraid it is going to be one that you're going to have to blind buy. But that's how I found it. I did a blind buy, and it worked out really, really well. There are a few more from the house that ST Dupont have released, and there's not a lot of information about them. I don't know who the nose was behind this, or I don't know who the nose was behind Oud Rose either. But whoever they've got in to do this is doing a really, really good job. Now, there's I think 2 or 3 more that they released, and I really, really want to eventually get round to them. Unfortunately for me, I have a list of fragrances about this long that I'm looking to own, because that's what we do. We buy far too many fragrances. But yeah, this one is a worthy addition to anybody's collection. I love it. My wife wears it a lot, and I kind of have to nick it when she's out to have a spray, because it's in with all her fragrances. And it's a real stunner. Again, I can't go on about the presentation enough. The bottle top is lovely. 100ml bottle. As gold can be. Stunning. So yeah, you're going to have to take my word for it. This is so worth owning. Go for it, get it, enjoy it, and love it, because we certainly do in this house. So anyway, I've got the house to myself today, so this is all about perfume and punk rock. Thank you very much for joining me. Lots more reviews coming, and I hope to see you soon with a new one. So take care, cheers, bye!